What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. This is my quick review of Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Just got it out of the theater and just wanted to drop some quick thoughts on it. It's okay. You know, it's not a bad movie. It's not going to offend anybody, I don't think. I think most folks that watch this will have a good time with it. However, it is definitely a step down from the last film. No question at all about it. And most of it lies in the first half of this movie, okay? Second half absolutely picks up. But the first half, it reminded me as I was leaving the theater of what George Lucas said about Star Wars. Like he said, Star Wars was a movie that I wrote for 12-year-old boys, okay? Like, this movie was written for 12-year-old boys, okay? At least in terms of its humor, okay? In the first half, it's all 12-year-old cliche humor, okay? And it's not the 12-year-olds of George Lucas's days. It's the 12-year-olds of 2023, all right? You talk to any 12-year-old and you hear the nonsense that they talk about in terms of their humor, okay? That's what the first half of this film is. It feels like it was written for them, like the tween age category. You know what I'm saying? Like tweens, they'll absolutely eat this stuff up. If you're a teenager and above, you're probably going to be like, this is dumb, all right? But the second half is filled with a lot of good moments, okay? Had good superhero moments, had some heart, had some warmth, had some charm, had some emotions, okay? There was some people even crying in the theater, you know, at the very, very end. So, you know, but the theaters were empty, man. I mean, the theaters were empty, all right? This thing is not going to do well in the box office. I can tell you that right now, okay? Because normally the theater that I go to, even just on any other movie on the Thursday night preview, them suckers are packed, all right? I'll go to an IMAX, maybe has around, 200 or so seats in it. This thing maybe had 30 people watching, all right? I was like, whoa, this thing isn't going to do well in the box office. The tracking was correct, all right? But in terms of the film, like I said, first half is a lot of cliche humor. Second half, it really takes off. The problem that I had, number one, is the villains, okay? The villains are just stock characters, okay? There's nothing really to them. They're the stock bad guys that you see in almost every comic book film. So they don't really do anything different. Honestly, they don't do anything different than the last villain in the last Shazam, all right? Almost beat for beat for beat. This film feels exactly like the last film with lesser writing, okay? Lesser, worse jokes, all right? Or jokes that you kind of see coming because you kind of watched the first one so you know where everything is going. So that's this film in a nutshell. But the second half, I have to admit, is solid action, lots of fun. There's some good moments there. And then David F. Sandberg, he does it again with the horror stuff, right? Like, he adds enough horror elements almost from the beginning of the film all the way throughout. There's enough horror elements that'll give some younger kids a scare. And, you know, so if you're a parent, you know, maybe you're taking your, under 10-year-old child, make sure that they know that, hey, there might be some scary stuff in this. But other than that, I think it's just a solid, okay movie. The one thing I was surprised at is that Asher Angel is barely in this. Billy Batson, like the human, regular Billy Batson, not, Zach Levi, obviously. He's barely in this. And what's even weirder is that when he is in the film, he's more of an adult than Zach Levi is, right? Like, there's a couple of moments where I was like, this guy is actually more mature than the Zach Levi character playing Billy Batson, the actual Billy Batson. It's just kind of weird, I think they didn't align themselves too much as they did in the last one. Like in the last one, you could tell, hey, this is how I'm going to behave. Okay, I'm going to follow your lead and we're going to act like we're the same person, and they kind of got on that same page. This one, it's like so jarring because every time Billy Batson is there, he's like a strict, stern kind of adult figure. He's dealing with himself in one way. And then when Zach Levi comes up, he's just like this goofy clown, So it's kind of weird, but since he's not on the film that much, you can kind of overlook it. Now, Jack Dylan Glazer, he's the one that plays Freddie Freeman, Captain Marvel Jr., okay? He does a great job. I think he's like actually the second protagonist in this thing because we're really following his action. Zach Levi's not really making a lot of the decisions. It's him, all right? He's making most of the decisions. He's kind of driving the plot. At the end, he really has like all of the emotional moments, okay? He's the guy at the end that I was like rooting for, and it's kind of cool to see, but at the same time, he was also the person at the very beginning that I was like, man, I'm tired of your stupid humor, okay? Because he was the 12-year-old jokes that I was talking about. That was him, okay? That was all him. And that's who he was in the first film. So we're really not surprised by it. But nevertheless, I just think Shazam 2 Fury of the Gods, I think it was okay. It's fine. I don't think most people would be upset with it. It's not a hateable movie. You can't really hate on it. All right. It's not a trash movie or anything like that. but it's almost kind of a nothing burger. It's just kind of like, yeah, it's fine. You know, I can watch it once. I might watch it again if somebody else wanted to go see it, see if I can pull anything else out of it. You know, again, I like the Shazam character. I like everything that they do with this character. Oh, let me say the cameo is a big nothing burger. That was a nothing burger if there was ever a nothing burger, okay? Nothing to that particular cameo whatsoever. Now, there is a post-credit scene in this, and it does make you think, okay, there is a possibility that James Gunn will bring Zachary Levi back as Shazam. There's a possibility if, you know, that post-credit scene means anything. I don't know. I think Zach Levi's future as Shazam really depends on this box office. You know, they didn't spend a lot of money on it. They were smart, unlike Marvel, to, you know, kind of keep the costs down, all right? Decent enough special effects. You can kind of see some of the issues in the special effects. There's a couple of, you know, obvious green screen moments that's like, whoa, this is obviously green screen, okay? But it doesn't really take you out of the movie too much, so it's not too bad. Let me just go ahead and show the quick scores that I have for this film. So here go my scores for Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Like I said, direction gets a 6.5. David F. Sandberg, don't get it twisted, all right? This guy is a phenomenal director, directs great horror films, does a good job there. Thought he did a great job with the first Shazam, okay? But this particular film, I think he needed a better script, all right? He didn't ask for anything more out of the script than what he got, all right? And he really didn't do anything to elevate the script with his direction, you know? So he just gets, you know, kind of a bit above an average script, just a tiny slit above average. Script and story is definitely the worst element. Lots of cliche, corny jokes right around the beginning of the film, okay? Like I said, second half of the film, great, all right? Great. It really saves the story, in my opinion. And then, like I said, the story beats themselves. It just kind of repeats of what we got the last time, all right? So script and story didn't really do anything special, kind of average. And then acting, of course, we got a 6.5. Really, Zachary Levi plays this thing the same way he played the last one, okay? No changes in it, even though, you know, again, Asher Angel, he made a lot of changes. Like, he seemed like he was more mature, but those two characters didn't really align. And so I think that hurt the acting. Everybody else just does an adequate job. Nothing stand out there. And then sights and sounds, like I said, there were some moments of green screen where it's obvious, okay? But for the most part, I thought the special effects worked. Like I said, plenty of monster action, and I thought the monsters looked pretty good. Good character designs on those. You know, lots of good moments of fright. Not necessarily, you know, terror and horror, but just frightening stuff. Again, watch it with your kids if you have any kids. So we got a total score of a 7.0. There it is. That's my opinion of where we're at with Shazam! Fury of the Gods. I don't know if this thing is going to continue. I'm not sure if they have any further ideas, you know, where else they can go with this. But I think that, you know, with this film being just kind of like average, you know, I think they could probably safely just put this particular series to bed. If they wanted to bring back Zach Levi as Shazam and bring him further, I could see that happening and see if that turns into, okay, maybe we could figure out what we could do for a third film. But overall, I think they could end the series right here and it wouldn't be a big deal. Anyway, folks, that's my review for Shazam! Fury of the Gods. If you saw it, go ahead, get down in the comments, give me your thoughts and your opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.